Oops. Hey and welcome back. Today I want to talk about some books I want to reread. Because why not? I've always been a big rereader, but haven't done that in a while because I've been just trying to read a lot of new books. Let's just get into it and talk about a few books I would like to read again in the more or less near future for whatever reason. Let's start with the most obvious one, which is the Harry Potter series. I used to read these like every year, but now it's been quite a few years since I've read them. I've read some passages here and there, chapters here and there, but haven't reread the actual series in full in a long time, so I definitely want to give these another round. Then we have another series actually. The Saga of Darren Shan. I never hear anyone talk about this. Haven't seen it around BookTube or Bookstagram. I mean, it's a middle grade series, but and it's old-ish. This one came out on 2000, so it's 20 years old, but I definitely loved it. I've read the first 3 or 4 books more than once, but then they stopped translating them, and then years later I just purchased the first 3 books when I was on holiday in Ireland, and then I just decided to get all of them and read them. But there's so much happening in this book, so I don't remember in full what's going on, so I want to reread the series. I might kind of skim through the first 3 because I know them by heart, but yeah, and it should be rather quick. These are quite tiny books. Yeah, the first book is 183 pages, so it shouldn't take too long. Then we have some classics. Alice in Wonderland. I've read it quite some time ago, but I definitely want to read it again because it's been ages and I love the story, and I just want to go back to Wonderland and see if I still love it. Probably will do, but yes, this is something I want to reread as well. Another classic is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I fell in love with the movie with Winona Ryder and Kirsten Dunst and whatnot, the old version, and then I read the book in Finnish when I was like, I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. I was quite young, and I haven't read this since. I still love the story, and yeah, I finally got it in English, and I hope to read this soon-ish. Then we have some poetry. The Melancholy Death of the Oyster Boy and other stories by Tim Burton. These are just wonderfully cute and somewhat creepy, and the illustrations are just so beautiful. And I'm a big fan of poetry, but this is something I definitely love and recommend to everyone, especially if you love Tim Burton. This is just all kinds of awesome. Then a book I mentioned on my first video, I think, is The Phantom of the Opera, and I did read this several times years ago, but now I haven't read it in ages, and I have only read it in Finnish. So now I found this absolutely stunning illustrated copy from a charity shop in Birmingham years ago. It cost like £4 or something, and it was just too beautiful not to take with me, and I love the story and I just want to read it again. And I haven't read it in English yet, though I've heard the translation kinda sucks, but oh well. And obviously this is only the books I want to reread from my shelves that I feel like rereading right now, so it's not much. So for the last one, I want to read the Tales from the Perilous Realm by J.R.R. Tolkien, and obviously my copy is in Finnish. It's a short story slash fairy tale collection, and this always makes me feel all kinds of nice things. Takes me on a road trip, basically through healthy Australia and to a beach in Melbourne. I read this when we were on vacation in Australia, and that's why it always takes me there, and I haven't read it since, and the stories are just so adorable. So this is something I definitely want to read again, and maybe it will ease me into the world of Tolkien when I at some point try to tackle Lord of the Rings. But I think that's it for now. Definitely tell me in the comments if you are wondering of rereading or just starting reading these for the first time, and I will talk to you later. Bye!